May 15, 2025, a woman, who worked as a cleaner and receptionist at a small hotel in Italy called Hotel Ferrucci, was heading to her room, 101, after finishing her shift. The hotel's CCTV footage clearly shows her carrying a white suitcase, accompanied by a man walking with her into the room. So far, everything seemed normal. But when she didn't show up for work the next morning, the hotel staff tried calling her room. When she didn't answer, they knocked on the door of room 101. After repeated attempts and no response, they used the master key to open the room. To their surprise, she wasn't inside. Her bag was lying open, one of the windows was slightly opened, and the bed was messy. Seeing this, the hotel staff immediately called the police. When the police searched the room, they didn't find much, some hair strands, the smell of perfume, but nothing that pointed to anything specific. The white suitcase was also missing. And the man who went into the room with her, where was he? Had they both run away together? Or something terrible happened to her? Hello viewers, I'm your host, and this is the true crime story of Maria Denisa Paun, a case that shook everyone. Maria Denisa Paun was a 30-year-old Romanian woman born in a small village located in Romania's Alt region. She was cheerful and had big dreams she wanted to fulfill. That's why in early 2024, she left her village and moved to Italy to start a new life. After some time, she made Prato, a city in Italy's Tuscany region, her permanent home. There, she got a job at Hotel Ferrucci. But even there, life wasn't easy. She worked long hours as both a cleaner and receptionist. Her colleagues described her as friendly. Denisa easily got along with everyone and was extremely dedicated to her work. Besides this, she loved being active on social media. Wherever she went, she would take selfies and post them on her stories or Instagram. She truly enjoyed doing all that. However, some friends believed she was hiding something. One friend later revealed that Denisa had once told her she was doing extra work on the side. She never gave details, but she mentioned that the side job helped her earn more money. So what was that job? Some people believed she met men through dating apps and earned money by getting intimate with them. But Denisa never confirmed any of it. Then came the day she disappeared from her room. When police didn't find anything in her room, they began checking the hotel's CCTV footage. They found two key moments. First, around 9:30 p.m., when Denisa was heading to her room holding a white suitcase and accompanied by a man whose face wasn't clearly visible. The second moment was around 10:30 p.m., when that same man left the room, this time without Denisa, but carrying the same white suitcase. The police began searching for this man. Days went by, but they still found no clue about the unknown person. Meanwhile, news spread rapidly about a Romanian girl who had gone missing in Italy. When Denisa's parents found out, they were shattered. They couldn't believe something like this could happen to their daughter. They appeared on a local TV station, pleading with the public to help find her safely. As the news spread, so did the rumors. Some said she ran away with that unknown man. Others believed something bad had happened to her. Amid all this, on May 20th, 2025, Denisa's phone, which had been off since the night she vanished, pinged briefly near Montecatini Terme, about 20 kilometers from the hotel. Police immediately rushed to the area with a search team. They scoured abandoned buildings and empty roads. Then, near a ditch by an isolated farmhouse, they found it, a white suitcase, half buried in thorn bushes. When the cops opened the suitcase, they found a red scarf, one Denisa had worn in an Instagram story. It had bloodstains. And Denisa herself was inside the suitcase. The killer had beheaded her, placed her inside, and zipped it shut. The police found other disturbing things inside the suitcase that we can't describe here. But the question wasn't what they found. The real question was, this was no longer just a missing person case. It had become a murder investigation. Denisa had been killed in a way so brutal, Words couldn't describe it. Now, the police had many questions. Who was that man last seen entering Denise's room? Why did he do this? Police began checking Denise's call records, text messages, and mobile data. They discovered she had recently been very active on dating apps. One account stood out, a man she had chatted with frequently. According to their chat history, the two had planned to meet on May 15th. Police followed this lead. They checked nearby traffic camera footage between Prato and Montecatini. A small black car, seen leaving the hotel area around 11 p.m., matched the route where the suitcase was later found. Though the license plate was blurred, a partial number gave investigators something to work with. Meanwhile, forensic teams examined the suitcase for DNA. It had been cleaned with bleach, but not well enough. A single hair, not Denise's, was found inside. Under specific lighting, a faint fingerprint was also found on the suitcase handle, good enough for a partial match. With mounting pressure, police quietly began building a suspect list. They traced the dating app account through IP logs. It led to a man living not far from Prato. A family man, with no criminal record. Investigators didn't arrest him right away. They started surveillance and monitored his every move. His phone records revealed he had been near the very location where the suitcase was found, on the exact night of May 15, 2025. This was enough evidence to arrest him, but investigators still needed one final piece. So they re-examined the hotel's CCTV footage. This time, they caught something they hadn't noticed before, a faint reflection of the man's face captured in a hallway mirror. And the face matched. The man's name was Vasile Frmuzic, a 32-year-old Romanian national, just like Denisa. He had been living in Italy for years, working as a security guard at a nearby shopping center. He was married, with 2 young children. Neighbors described him as kind and calm. But the police knew he was the last person to see Denisa alive, and the one who murdered her so brutally. When investigators brought him in for questioning, he admitted he had met Denisa through a dating app. At first, Denisa didn't know he was married with 2 kids. Over time, their relationship turned toxic. Denisa began ignoring him. She wanted to move on. But Vasile wasn't ready to let go. When she finally stopped responding, he begged her to meet one last time. He promised it would be the last conversation between them. Denisa agreed. So on May 15th, they planned to meet at the very hotel where Denisa worked. Vasile waited outside for her shift to end. When it did, she took him up to her room. And what happened there? According to the forensic report, and Vasile's own confession, an argument broke out. Denisa told him she was done. She said she knew he was married, and if he didn't leave her alone, she'd tell his wife. That one sentence changed everything. Vasile claimed he lost control. In a panic, he grabbed her throat and didn't let go. She tried to fight, but within seconds, she lost consciousness. And then, she was gone. But it didn't end there. Vasile panicked. Instead of calling for help, he tried to cover it up. He used Denisa's white suitcase, the one seen in the CCTV footage, to hide her body. He cleaned the room quickly, wiped down all surfaces, and opened the window to make it look like she had left on her own. Then around 10:50 p.m., he wheeled the suitcase out through the back exit, avoiding the front desk. The car he used belonged to his wife. Later that night, he drove to Montecatini Terme, an isolated place he knew from a previous job. There, near the abandoned farmhouse, he left the suitcase in the bushes and went home like nothing had happened. 4 days he went to work, smiled at his kids, held his wife's hand. But behind the scenes, he was deleting messages, erasing files, and watching the news, hoping Denisa's body wouldn't be found. He never imagined that surveillance footage, GPS data, and that faint fingerprint would bring the police straight to him. When confronted with the evidence, Vasile didn't argue. He confessed. When Denisa's parents found out their daughter was no longer alive, they were devastated. Her mother fainted from the shock. People were outraged. They demanded justice for Denisa and called for the strictest punishment possible for Vasile. So that was this weekend's crime documentary. Next weekend, you and I will take a step away from crime and move toward horror. What really happened to Dan Rivera? Did the Annabelle doll actually kill him, or is there another truth behind it? We'll find out next Sunday. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Until then, I'll see you next weekend.